The ever-increasing demands for new and exciting business options, such as telephony and digital video transmission, are all a part of our growth in the cable television industry. Context Systems Incorporated is dedicated to serving your needs for today while protecting your investments for tomorrow. Contec, the manufacturer of Polychem Shrink and Polyflex tape product lines, is a California corporation with manufacturing facilities in San Marcos, California. Sales and marketing is headquartered in Seagirt, New Jersey, with international sales offices in California and the United Kingdom. Contec has better than 50 years of combined experience in the rubber chemistry, thermoplastic, and Polychem Shrink technologies. Introducing Contec's Polychem Shrink and Polyflex SFT 150 self-fusing tape. The shrink sleeve products utilize a unique patent-pending rubber shrink technology that can be used on a wide variety of molded shapes and pieces, connectors, and cables. Each product shrinks tightly around the connection, sealing out moisture and preventing corrosion without the use of torches, propane, open flame, or tools of any kind. The Contec product line, made of durable and reliable EPDM, shrinks perfectly 100% of the time, every time, and retains its flexibility at temperature extremes that would shatter plastics and most other rubber products. Contec's Polychem Shrink is the only naturally cured shrink sleeve product available in the cable television industry that utilizes an expansion solution that has little to no odor, is FDA approved, and is non-flammable. The concept behind each Contec product is its memory retention. The extruded EPDM rubber is manufactured smaller than the smallest component to be covered. When soaked in a proprietary solution, the sleeves become fully expanded and suspended until its application. Upon application, the sleeve begins to shrink back to its original size and will continue to do so throughout its product life. Each sleeve comes packaged in a reusable foil package and has a guaranteed shelf life of 5 years. Noting a small notch on the top side corner, pull the foil along the edge only enough to allow the removal of the sleeves. Reseal by folding down the foil and then fold over the tab locks to fully secure the package. To apply a Polychem Shrink sleeve to a new connection, first, be sure that the cable and connector are free of water, dirt, and any other substances. Prepare your fiber cable, then remove the sleeve from the packet and place it far enough down the fiber cable so that it will not interfere with connectorization. Remember, don't rush. You have plenty of time for the installation and sealing application. Once connectorization is complete, again, be sure that the sealing area is clean. Gently, and without folding the sleeve under itself, push and twist the sleeve over the body of the connector and butt the end of the shrink tube up to the fiber node. That's all there is to it, and the sleeve now begins its full recovery. Contec's Polychem Shrink is available for all brands of aluminum hardline connectors and comes in 2 varieties: a 2-piece shrink sleeve application for pin connectors and a 3-piece for splice connectors. The 2-piece design contains 1 inner sleeve and an outer sleeve, while the 3-piece contains 2 inner sleeves and an outer sleeve. There may be limited designs requiring only 1 outer sleeve application. For this demonstration, we'll use a .540 pin connector, which requires a 2-piece system. After the cable prep is complete, open the packet, remove a sleeve, reseal, and slide the sleeve over the cable. After connectorization, slide the sleeves up to the connector, butting both up against the back nut. With a slight twisting motion, slide the sleeve up over the connector body until it butts up against the housing. Your application is complete as the sleeve's recovery process begins. Contec Polychem Shrink tubing for .540 aluminum hardline splices comes pre-packed with 3 separate sleeves intact for each connector application. 2 smaller build-up sleeves, inside and outer sleeve. After preparing cable, slide one of the inner sleeves over the end of one of the two cables. Next, slide the remaining two-piece sleeve intact over the end of the other cable. After connectorization, slide each sleeve up to either side of the splice connector, butting them up against the back nuts. While holding the single inner sleeve in place, push and twist the outer sleeve up and over the connector splice body until it's centered over the two inner sleeves. The sleeve now begins its recovery process. Contex Polychem Shrink is also available for Series 6 and 59F connectors, as well as Series 7, 611, 11, right-angle F connectors, and any other custom connector to cable installation. For aerial or exposed drop cable applications, place the shrink sleeve over the prepared, clean, and dry coaxial drop cable. After connector installation, simply slide the sleeve up and over the connector and port, butting the end of the sleeve against the housing. The sleeve now begins its recovery process. To protect an existing connector and cable assembly, place the sleeve over the drop cable's center conductor and stretch the tube under the connector nut. Then push it up and over the connector and cable. After connectorization, simply twist and slide the sleeve up and over the connector body and port until the sleeve is flush against the housing. Contec Polychem Shrink sleeves for underground drop cable splices come pre-packed with 3 separate pieces for each application. To install, remove one of the 2 inner build-up sleeves and slide it over the end of one of the cleaned and prepared cable ends. Slide the remaining 2-piece sleeve intact over the end of the other prepared cable. Install connectors and F81 adapter onto the cables according to the manufacturer's specifications. Slide each sleeve up to the back of each F connector. Holding the single inner sleeve in place, gently twist and push the outer sleeve up and over the connector and adapter body until it is centered over the 2 inner sleeves. The sleeve now begins its recovery process. If you ever have to remove any of the Polychem Shrink sleeves, you never have to resort to heat or open flame of any type. Simply take a Stanley utility knife with a double hook blade, model number 11961. Place the blade just under the lip of the sleeve. Lay on its side and pull the blade along the length of the sleeve until you reach the other end of the sleeve. If you can't reach the end of the sleeve, grasp the severed edges of the sleeve and split it. The Polychem Shrink sleeve will come off cleanly without any residue. Contex Polyflex SFT 150 self-fusing tape protects irregular adapters, such as housing-to-housing coupling connectors and right-angle connectors. It can also be used to repair a damaged cable without disconnecting or interrupting services. The Polyflex SFT 150 self-fusing tape is a synthetic rubber compound formulated to bond to itself. As you stretch the tape, its memory will attempt to return to its original unstressed position, applying constant pressure onto itself. As it applies this pressure, it begins an immediate bonding process that unifies it into one solid piece. However, unlike other tapes, Polyflex will not become unusable if it's touched to itself. As you wrap the tape in a half-lap fashion, pull hard and stretch the tape, utilizing the maximum stretch capability of the tape. When you have reached the other end of the sealing area, reverse direction and travel halfway back. Mash and blend the tape end firmly onto itself. Your application is now complete. Contex Systems Incorporated has developed a colorful array of PVC molded end caps to protect your exposed connector and cable after a disconnect. Contex has also developed a clear PVC identification sleeve that shrinks down over your self-adhered identification labels. Contex Polychem Shrink and Polyflex tapes are only the beginning in our technological breakthrough of waterproof and corrosion protection for your system. Because of our ongoing commitment to research and development, the implementation of ISO 9000, environmental evaluations, and quality control, you will be able to protect your investment today and seal your growth for the future.